Beekman of the Bears now joins us here on The Score. Josh, first of all, I want to say congratulations on getting an opportunity to actually show what you can do on the field in the game. And secondly, thank you for joining us this morning.
Well, that's no problem. Thank you for having me.
So you're kind of in a weird spot right now because with the offensive line in flux a little bit, you're going to be asked to do a couple different things. It was almost like what you went through at Boston College in Thursday night's game, where you spent a lot of time playing guard and then played center.
Yes. It happens. You just have to do football, and you always got to be ready. And when coaches call upon you to step up.
I saw you spending a lot of time yesterday with Olin Kreutz after practice. And I think that Olin Kreutz is one of the best teachers in the NFL. Being that I've gone to a couple different camps and watching this guy, how much time he spends with you guys, what's it like to learn from a guy like that, to learn from a guy like Roberto Garza, to learn from a guy like John Tate?
Well, I have stepping stones. You said you got Roberto Garza at guard and John Tate at tackle, but then you got the legend Olin Kreutz. And I think he's a phenomenal player. And just the 20 minutes we spent after practice, or however long we were after practice, he was just showing me technique-wise some things that I probably wouldn't have got if he didn't show me that the 11-year vet.
Josh Beekman joining us, and like I said, I got two guys that I want you to start getting to know a little bit. Laurence Holmes here with you until noon. The other guy just popped up. We got shirt number 67 sitting right here immediately to my right, to my far right, shirt number 21, Corey Graham, joining us here on The Score. Corey, first of all, thanks for coming down.
Thank you for having me down here.
Me and Corey, we go back a little ways. We did a couple camps together for Nike earlier this summer, and fans are going to start to see you a little bit more this year too, not just in your role on special teams, but also doing some things with the defense. What types of things are you doing, and what are you learning from the two guys that are ahead of you on the depth chart, Charles Tillman and Nate Fashion?
Well, I got two great guys ahead of me. They've Tillman has had some family problems this year, so he's been away a while, so I've had an opportunity to go with the first team on defense. So it's definitely helped me and gave me confidence, gave me an opportunity to show that I can play with those guys. So hopefully I can go out and get an opportunity to play this year. You never know. Those guys are great. If anything happens, to any one of those guys, I'll have an opportunity to go out there and show fans and everybody that I can play also.
For both of you guys, how important are the reps that you're getting? And I know it's a little bit different now for you, Corey, than maybe last year because you are working with the first team, but how important are these reps in training camp? Josh, we'll start with you.
Well, I think they're vital. You have to practice. The only way you get better is getting reps and seeing defenses and playing against strong competition. I go against the defense and Corey sometimes all day long, and it only makes you better. It only makes you stronger. The more reps you get, the stronger of a player you will be.
And Corey, for you, how important is the time that you're getting on the practice field? And Peanut has missed a few practices here and there. When you get on the field, how important is it for you to utilize that time that you are getting with the first unit?
Well, it's very important because it shows like the speed that you go against. It's more like game-like speed, so it gives you an opportunity to see what you're going to be like in the game. It's a little faster. You got better receivers out there. You got guys out there that's trying to make plays, and they're the starters. So if you feel you can do well against those guys, then you get more confidence. Maybe going into the game, you'll be better, and you'll know that you can play against those type of caliber guys.
Josh Beekman and Corey Graham joining us here on The Score for a few minutes. They got practice coming up in about an hour and 20 minutes. They got to get ready for that. But I wanted you to know who they were. When you start to see these guys in preseason games, that you're like, okay, I know exactly who those guys are. They came on The Score. I've been watching them since the beginning of the year. Now Josh, with you, it's a delicate situation right now on the offensive line. You guys lost Chris Williams, who had an opportunity to start at left tackle, so it kind of switches things up on what your role might be. How is the offensive line affected by Chris's loss, and how do you go forward?
Well, Ruben Brown last year before he left, he gave me great advice. He said, "Beats, I've been in this league a long time," and he had. And he said there's going to be seasons where everybody gets hurt, and then there's going to be seasons where nobody gets hurt. And he says, but you have to be able to adjust, and you have to be able to adapt. And I think one thing, having a veteran on the line, and especially the leader, Olin Kreutz, he helps coach you up. He's like a second coach out there on the football field where he helps coach you up and make the right adjustments to get everybody in place. Losing Chris, is something we didn't foresee, but we're going to adapt, and we're going to set the tone and do what the coaches expect of us, our job.
Now at Boston College, you played both guard and center, and we saw that again in Thursday night's game. Which position do you think you're better at? And I would imagine you're going to say guard because there isn't a spot open at center right now.
No, I don't. There's no way I could top Olin Kreutz. But it is all about just going out there and showing what you can do when the coaches want you to. Knowing both is going to help me for a long time, hopefully, in this league. And like I said before, I got a great teacher in Olin Kreutz, and he was instructing me yesterday, and just the little points that he showed me and instructed me on yesterday. Hopefully, will help me for today's practice.
Without giving too much away, what types of tips are you talking about for the person who doesn't know? And I think it's one of the hardest things for a fan to digest is offensive line play, because the cameras when we're watching games is following the ball, and we don't get to see as much stuff that happens in the trenches. So are we talking about leverage? Are we talking about pad level? What types of things does Olin show you, without giving away all of his techniques and his tricks, that will help you become a better player?
Well, he just talks about make your job easier, and just knowing the angles of blocking, and what a defensive lineman's trying to do. He's trying to get to the quarterback, so what's the best way to prevent him from doing that, and the best way of blocking him? And, just knowing, I guess, the art of war, you could say, is the main thing. Owen was just saying, well, if he wants to get here, how do you prevent him from being here, and making your job easier? And, just opening, I guess, a book of knowledge on me was the number one thing he's done.
Is Olin giving out books now? Did he give you Sun Tzu, The Art of War, for you to check out?
Well, he's a smart man. Every time he says something, I try to just soak it up like a sponge, because he, like I said, an 11-year vet, 6-time Pro Bowler. He knows his stuff.
Now, Corey, for you look at that defense, and if everyone on that defense stays healthy, I mean, it can be, the sky's the limit for how good it can be. Is it tough knowing how good the defense is when you're trying to kind of establish yourself and get a role for yourself on the team?
Well, coming in here, I knew that they had two great corners and things like that. So the defense is great. But being on a team, you got to be a team player. You got to help out when you can. Obviously everyone comes here and want to play, want to be a starter, want to do that, things like that. But somehow you just got to find a way to help the team. Knowing the defense is great. Honestly, I want everyone to stay healthy. I want them to go out there and be the best every time they can. Because it can help us win a Super Bowl. If it means me, I can go out on special teams and have to do what I can on special teams, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I want. Obviously, I just want the best 11 guys out there, and I just want to go out there and dominate and just try to win games.
The special teams last year, number one again. On the last 2 years in a row, their special team has been number one in the NFL. Dave Tote has done an amazing job, but you lose a valuable part in Brendan Nye and DeDejo. How are you guys going to compensate for that loss?
Well, we should be all right. We got a great bunch of guys. We got Robert Wilson, and we got Jamar, and we got Nick Roach. We got guys that's going to go out there and going to perform well. So we just all have to pick it up and just, as a combined group, just try to, compensate for Brendan. Brendan was a Pro Bowl player on special teams. But if we all pick up our level of play, we should be all right to be able to hold it down and hopefully be number one again.